Hello, my name is Clay. I teach U.S. Government and Economics at Yerba Buena High School in San Jose. I'm first going to go over a brief introduction to the unit that I made, and then show off some parts I find that are most interesting about this unit. So this unit is an inquiry-based unit in which students aim to answer the unit level question by the end of this unit. If we scroll down, we can see the student demographics. And continuing to scroll, we can see a unit level map. This unit level map was based off the UC Berkeley History Social Science Project template, and it's aligned to the California History Social Science Framework. It's a backward designed template. So our course level question for the course on government is: how is power shared in our political system between the government and the people? Our unit level question, which is underneath our course level question, is: what did the framers of the Constitution set up how did the framers of the Constitution set up a government where power is shared between the people and the government? And then we branch out into various lesson level questions that we'll be getting to in just a bit. So we're going to continue to scroll down. We see objective calendar. We're first going to start off with the Articles of Confederation, move on to 2 days on the Constitutional Convention. Note, on day 3, it's a 30-minute block. And day 1 and 2, they're 95-minute blocks. We move on to a discussion of parts of the Constitution, continuing that discussion on day 5. We go on to amending the Constitution on day 6. On day 7, we talk about Federalists and federalism. On day 8, we talk about Anti-Federalists and the Bill of Rights. On day 9, we talk about the Federalists, Anti-Federalists, and review it, again, because it's that smaller 30-minute day. It's great for review. On day 10, we continue to review the whole unit, because on day 11, we have our final unit level assessment, in which we aim to answer that unit level question, again, which was: how did the framers of the Constitution set up a government where power is shared between the people and the government? Again, everything going back to that unit level question that is tied back to that course level question. Each lesson has a central question. So if we scroll down, we can see the first question for our first lesson in this unit is: what power did the Articles of Confederation have? How do the Articles of Confederation set up the basis for the United States Constitution? Really promoting student-based inquiry in student-centered classrooms through the use of inquiry-based lessons. Our objective is students will be able to critique the Articles of Confederation and analyze its limitations, seeing what limitations it had, and seeing how the Constitution came from it. If we click here, we can see a brief PowerPoint. Again, these PowerPoints aren't too text-heavy, but are made to facilitate discussion of the content. Basically used for bell work and exit ticket. Our standard that we'll be hitting on the first couple days is: students will be able to explain the principles and morals of American democracy. Again, each lesson is sandwiched between bell work and exit tickets. Exit tickets act as the lesson assessment, and we can see throughout this unit that the formative assessments or exit tickets are differentiated. In this PowerPoint, we have differentiation through the use of sentence starters, but as we go on, there'll be different forms of exit tickets. We also have our ELD standards and our Common Core Social Studies standards. I'm going to keep on scrolling because I want to get to one of the more interesting parts of this lesson, which is the use of Google Docs and educational technology to enhance learning. So right here, we see the use of a HyperDoc that I created. So if we click on this HyperDoc, which is embedded in this unit plan, I situated our goal as aligned to our question, our objective. So our objective is: how does the Constitution create a representative government? Our question is: our objective is students will be able to understand the multiple parts of the United States Constitution and determine the power of these parts. Again, tying back to that 12.1 unit, 12.1 standard. Our model here is engage, explore, explain, apply, share, exit ticket, and extend for those gate level students. If we click here, we can see a Schoolhouse Rock preamble song, which really tries to engage the students in this content. After we have those students engaged, we then explore a new ZLA text set in which students can adjust their Lexile level depending on where they are. After that, they watch 2 videos from this playlist I curated,
in the last video, we discussed the Great Compromise,
which all describes basically the same information of how the Constitution is organized. After that, they fill out a mind map in their Google Drive notebook. In the small bubbles, you would write the sections. In the large bubbles, you write the articles, allowing the students to see graphically how the Constitution would map out. They then create a poster of this with their table group. An exit ticket would be a Padlet, which is a digital bulletin board in which they'd be answering our exit ticket question. Students would be posting here digitally and seeing each other's and being able to collaborate and share their reflection. And if they finished early, there's no need to ask the teacher, what do I do next? There's an extension activity down here, which is a flash-based game through iCivics about constitutional law. So that's just one example of a hyperdoc that I created for this lesson. If we scroll down to lesson number 2, we got another example of a hyperdoc. Again, in the same model as engage, explore, explain, apply, share, reflect, and extend. In this lesson, it's a research-based component in which you're reading the interactive Constitution, seeing different views of the Constitution on different scholarly articles attached to that, and then engaging in a scavenger hunt around the Constitution. I'll show you a quick example of what they're looking for. Again, filling all this out digitally, and also working collaboratively. Once they finish, they have a more traditional exit ticket in which they take a sticky note and place it on the back of the classroom. If we keep on scrolling down, we see day 6 is how might the Constitution be changed? Again, on one of those shorter days, talking about the Equal Rights Amendment. Day 7, who were the Federalists and why did they want a strong government? Kinsella chart, accessing that prior knowledge and also building vocabulary. Crash course, trying to engage the students, doing a mini lecture, but really having that discussion-focused lesson. Again, PowerPoints as we follow along. Day 8, who were the Anti-Federalists and what is their legacy? Filling out a KWL chart to access any prior knowledge and also aim to be a formative assessment. We have a digital version of a KWL chart that they can follow along in their Chromebooks. Keep on scrolling down. Day 9, acting as a quiz. So in day 8, we learned about the Anti-Federalists and their legacy as the Bill of Rights. We also learned interactive hand signals, how to memorize the Bill of Rights, really getting kids up and moving and using their hands and to remember the Bill of Rights, which in the past I found out students really remember the Bill of Rights by doing this. So our assessment, or one of our formative assessments here, is students recording their Bill of Rights hand signals or using their hands to remember the Bill of Rights through the use of a hyperdoc in which they record themselves with a webcam video. If we keep scrolling down, we have our review day on day 10, in which we have a quiz live, a Kahoot, and a gallery walk. I used a gallery walk to set up because this lesson is inquiry-based, in which we aim to answer those lesson-based questions. In this lesson, the gallery walk will be based off those different questions that we talked about each day. And finally, in day 10, we talk about our final assessment, which is a 2-page in-class paper answering our unit level question: how did the framers of the Constitution set up a government where power is shared between the people and the government?